feeling a bit tired lately, maybe a little achy. Sometimes we think it's just age catching up, the natural slowing down of things. We might dismiss a new sensitivity or a cough that lingers longer than it used to. We keep our homes clean and tidy because that's how we were raised, how we feel comfortable, how we feel in control of at least one part of our world. A clean home feels like a safe home, doesn't it? But what if some of the very things we use to keep our homes sparkling might actually be contributing to those aches? That cough, that feeling of being just a little bit off. It's a difficult thought, isn't it? The things we rely on, the familiar bottles under the sink, potentially causing subtle harm over time, especially as our bodies change, becoming perhaps a little more sensitive, less able to bounce back quickly from exposure. There are some common cleaning products, the ones many of us have used for decades, that can pose unexpected risks. Risks that are magnified when you're over 70. They contain ingredients that, while they might zap grime effectively, can irritate airways, affect skin, and even impact our overall well-being in ways we might not immediately connect back to our cleaning routine. In this video, we're going to uncover 3 specific types of common cleaning products you should seriously consider avoiding or replacing if you're over 70, and we'll talk about why. It's not about fear. It's about being informed and making choices that truly support your health as you live vibrantly. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Now, let's talk about the first type of product that really deserves a second look, especially for those of us over 70. We're talking about certain kinds of air fresheners. You know the ones, the sprays, the plug-ins, the gels, the diffusers that promise to make your home smell like a pine forest, a field of lavender, or a tropical breeze. They seem so harmless. Right, just adding a pleasant scent to cover up odors or create a nice atmosphere. We use them in the bathroom, the living room, the kitchen, sometimes even the bedroom. We might think of them as just part of making our home feel welcoming and fresh. The painful reality here is that many of these products, especially the synthetic ones, contain a cocktail of chemicals designed to release fragrance into the air. And some of these chemicals are anything but harmless, particularly for aging lungs and sensitive skin. Think about it. These aren't just essential oils. They're complex compounds like phthalates, volatile organic compounds, VOCs like formaldehyde and benzene, and synthetic musks. When these are released into the air, we breathe them in. Our skin can absorb them. And while a younger, more robust system might process these without much fuss, an older body, perhaps with pre-existing conditions like asthma, COPD, allergies, or even just generally more sensitive skin and respiratory passages, can react quite differently. Take VOCs, for instance, volatile organic compounds. The name sounds technical, but what it means is they easily become vapors or gases and enter the air. When you spray that air freshener or plug in that device, you're releasing these gases. They can cause irritation to the eyes, nose, and throat almost immediately. For someone over 70 who might already experience dryness or sensitivity in these areas, this irritation can be more pronounced and linger longer. Think about that tickle in your throat after spraying, or that feeling of congestion that seems to pop up out of nowhere. It might not be a cold starting. It could be your air freshener, prolonged exposure, which happens if you use these products regularly or have plug-ins constantly running, can potentially worsen respiratory conditions if you have asthma. Certain fragrances and VOCs are known triggers for attacks. If you have COPD, breathing in these irritants can make your symptoms worse, leading to increased coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath. It adds an extra burden on lungs that might already be working harder than they used to. It's like trying to breathe through a slightly clogged filter all the time. Then there are phthalates. These are chemicals often used in fragrances to make the scent last longer. Studies have raised concerns about phthalates and their potential to disrupt hormones. But even putting that aside, simply inhaling or having skin contact with them can be problematic. Our skin becomes thinner and less resilient as we age. making it more susceptible to irritation and absorption. If you spray an air freshener and it settles on your skin, or you touch surfaces where it has landed, you could experience dryness, redness, or itching. For someone already dealing with dry skin or conditions like eczema, this just compounds the problem. It's the constant, low-level exposure that's the concern here. It's not usually a dramatic, immediate poisoning, but rather a subtle, cumulative effect over time. That persistent, unexplainable cough you developed, that feeling of sinus congestion that never quite goes away, that dry, itchy patch of skin. It's worth considering if the fragrant products filling your air might be playing a role. It's also about the sheer number of different chemicals being released. Manufacturers aren't required to list every single ingredient in a fragrance because it's often considered a trade secret. This means we often don't know exactly what we're breathing in. For older adults who might be on various medications or have compromised immune systems, introducing unknown chemicals into their environment adds another layer of potential complication. It's not just about making a room smell nice. It's about maintaining clean, breathable air within your home, which is absolutely fundamental to health. Especially as we age, good ventilation is key. Opening windows when possible, using exhaust fans. But relying on products that simply mask odors or add synthetic scents might be counterproductive to creating a truly healthy indoor environment. Switching away from these synthetic air fresheners towards simpler, natural methods like opening windows, using exhaust fans, baking soda to absorb odors, or even just a bowl of vinegar left out overnight in a room with lingering smells can make a huge difference in the air quality you're breathing every single day. It's about being proactive about the air you breathe, recognizing that what smells nice might not be what is nice for your body, especially your lungs and skin as they age. The convenience of a spray or plug-in seems appealing, but when you weigh it against the potential for increased irritation, breathing difficulties, and skin issues, especially when your body is already less resilient, avoiding these synthetic air fresheners starts to look like a really sensible choice for your well-being. Moving on, let's talk about another common cleaning product that many of us have used for years, perhaps even decades, and often consider essential for disinfection: strong bleach-based cleaners. You know, the ones with that distinct, pungent smell that signals clean and germ-free. We use them in the bathroom, the kitchen, anywhere we want to kill germs and whiten surfaces. And they are effective disinfectants. There's no doubt about that. But the active ingredient, sodium hypochlorite, which is essentially what bleach is a powerful chemical, and its potency is precisely what makes it risky, particularly for older adults. The dangers aren't just about accidentally spilling it on your clothes or skin, although that's certainly a risk due to potential chemical burns. The more insidious dangers often come from the fumes you inhale while using them and the potential for respiratory irritation. When you pour or spray bleach, it releases chlorine gas, even in small amounts. That strong smell, that's the gas. Inhaling these fumes can be incredibly irritating to the lining of your airways, from your nose and throat right down into your lungs. For someone over 70 whose lungs might already be less elastic, or perhaps dealing with the effects of past exposures or conditions, this irritation can be quite significant. It can cause coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, and a burning sensation in the chest. If you have asthma or COPD, even mild exposure to bleach fumes can trigger a severe flare-up. It's like adding fuel to a fire in your lungs. Even for those without diagnosed respiratory conditions, repeated exposure over time, even at lower concentrations, can lead to chronic irritation and increased sensitivity. You might develop a persistent cough, feel congested, or find yourself more susceptible to respiratory infections simply because your airways are constantly being aggravated. Mixing bleach with other common household cleaners is also extremely dangerous. Mixing bleach with ammonia found in some glass cleaners, for example, creates chloramine gas, which is highly toxic and can cause severe respiratory problems, including fluid in the lungs. Mixing it with acids like vinegar, toilet bowl cleaners, or rust removers produces chlorine gas, which we've already discussed is highly irritating, but in concentrated amounts from mixing, it can be deadly. While most of us know intellectually not to mix chemicals, it's surprisingly easy to do accidentally. Perhaps by cleaning one area with bleach and then immediately using another product without rinsing thoroughly, or by using a multi-purpose cleaner that contains ammonia in the same session as using bleach. As we get older, our memory might not be as sharp, or we might be trying to hurry and simply forget the rule about not mixing. The consequences, especially respiratory ones, can be much more severe for an older person whose body might not be able to recover as quickly or effectively from toxic exposure. Beyond the respiratory issues, bleach can also be very harsh on the skin. It strips away natural oils and can cause dryness, redness, and irritation, especially on the hands. If you have sensitive skin, eczema, or dermatitis, using bleach without gloves can significantly worsen these conditions. Even wearing gloves, the fumes can still cause problems for the eyes and airways. Think about cleaning a bathroom with a strong bleach cleaner in a small, poorly ventilated space. You're essentially creating a miniature gas chamber. The risks are multiplied. Instead of relying solely on strong bleach, consider gentler alternatives for many cleaning tasks. For general disinfection, hydrogen peroxide, the common 3% solution from the pharmacy, is a good option that breaks down into water and oxygen. It bubbles and helps lift dirt while killing many germs. White vinegar is excellent for cutting through grease, soap scum, and hard water deposits, and it also has disinfectant properties, although not as broad spectrum as bleach. Even good old soap and water, combined with physical scrubbing, can remove a vast amount of germs simply by washing them away. Save bleach for specific situations where it's truly necessary. And when you do use it, ensure maximum ventilation. Open windows wide. Use fans. And minimize the amount you use. Never, ever mix it with anything else, being mindful of the power and danger of bleach, especially the fumes and the risk of accidental mixing, is incredibly important as you navigate keeping your home clean and safe in your later years. Now, let's shift our focus to a third type of product that can pose significant risks, particularly for those over 70, and these are aggressive oven cleaners and drain cleaners. These products are designed to tackle some of the toughest cleaning jobs in the home, baked on grease in the oven and clogged pipes, and they do it by using incredibly powerful, corrosive chemicals. Think about what it takes to dissolve burnt food or break down hair and grease blockages. It requires substances that can cause significant damage to organic matter. And unfortunately, that includes your skin, eyes, and respiratory system. Oven cleaners, especially the spray-on types, often contain very strong alkaline chemicals like sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, commonly known as lye. These chemicals work by essentially dissolving grease and food residue. When you spray them, fine droplets and fumes are released into the air. Inhaling these can cause immediate and severe irritation to the nose, throat, and lungs. The symptoms can range from coughing and difficulty breathing to chemical burns in the airways. For an older person with potentially less resilient lung tissue or pre-existing respiratory conditions, this exposure is particularly dangerous. It can lead to severe respiratory distress, inflammation, and even long-term damage. Imagine the painful reality of struggling to breathe because of fumes from a product you used to clean your oven. Beyond inhalation, these chemicals are highly corrosive to the skin and eyes. A splash or even contact with residue can cause chemical burns that require immediate medical attention. As skin thins with age, it's even more vulnerable to this type of injury. The spray formulation of many oven cleaners increases the risk of accidental inhalation and skin contact due to airborne particles. Cleaning an oven is often done in a confined space, further concentrating the dangerous fumes. Similarly, Many powerful drain cleaners use extremely strong acids or bases to dissolve clogs. Or they contain chemicals that react violently with water to produce heat and break down blockages. Some use sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid, which are incredibly corrosive. Others use high concentrations of sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, like oven cleaners. Still others might use strong oxidizers. The dangers here are multiple. Firstly, the fumes are highly irritating and corrosive to the respiratory tract. Pouring these products down a drain can release noxious gases that fill the air in a bathroom or kitchen. Inhaling these fumes can cause severe coughing, burning sensations, and breathing difficulties, just like oven cleaner fumes. Secondly, the risk of splashback is significant. If the drain is completely blocked, pouring a powerful liquid cleaner into it can cause it to splash back up, potentially getting into your eyes or on your skin, causing severe chemical burns and permanent damage, including blindness if it gets in your eyes. For older adults who might have reduced dexterity, vision issues, or slower reaction times, the risk of accidental spills or splashes is increased. Thirdly, some drain cleaners generate a lot of heat as they work, which can potentially damage pipes, but also increases the risk of burns if you come into contact with the treated water. Using gentler methods for both oven and drain cleaning is a much safer approach, especially as you get older. For oven cleaning, a paste made of baking soda and water applied to the interior and left overnight can soften baked-on grime, which can then be scrubbed away with much less effort and no harsh fumes. For tougher spots, a pumice stone designed for ovens can work wonders mechanically without chemicals. Self-cleaning oven cycles, while they produce heat and some fumes, are often less dangerous than using corrosive chemical sprays if the room is very well ventilated and you leave the house during the cycle. For drains, a simple solution of pouring a cup of baking soda followed by a cup of vinegar down the drain and letting it sit for 15 to 30 minutes before flushing with hot water can clear many minor clogs caused by grease and soap scum. For more stubborn clogs, using a drain snake or calling a plumber is a far safer option than reaching for those super powerful, corrosive chemical cleaners. The potential for severe burns, respiratory damage, and eye injury from these aggressive products is simply too high, particularly for those whose bodies might be less able to withstand or recover from such exposures. Prioritizing your safety and health over the convenience of a quick chemical fix is a choice that pays dividends in your well-being as you navigate your later years. So, we've talked about the potential hidden dangers lurking in some very common household cleaning products. The synthetic air fresheners with their cocktail of potentially irritating chemicals. The strong bleach cleaners with their powerful, fuming irritants and risks of dangerous reactions. And the corrosive oven and drain cleaners designed to dissolve organic matter, including your own tissues. It can feel a bit overwhelming to think that the tools we use to keep our homes clean might actually be undermining our health in subtle ways. But the point here isn't to scare you, it's to empower you with knowledge. It's about understanding that as our bodies change and perhaps become a little more sensitive or less resilient, being mindful of the chemicals we bring into our most personal space, our home, becomes even more crucial for maintaining good health and quality of life. Remember that persistent cough, the unexplained congestion, the irritated skin. While they can be symptoms of many things, it's worth considering if your cleaning routine might be contributing, especially if you regularly use the types of products we've discussed. It's not about abandoning cleaning altogether. A clean home is important for health and well-being, but about making smarter, safer choices about how you clean. The good news is there are so many effective, less toxic alternatives available now. Simple things like good ventilation, using microfiber cloths that clean effectively with just water, and embracing natural cleaners like vinegar, baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, and Castile soap can make a huge difference in reducing your exposure to harsh chemicals. Making the switch doesn't mean your home will be less clean. It just means it will be cleaner in a way that is kinder to your body. Think of it as an investment in your well-being. Choosing safer products is choosing to protect your lungs, your skin, and your overall vitality. It's about creating an environment where you can breathe easier, literally and figuratively. Small changes, made gradually, can really add up. Maybe start by swapping out your air freshener for opening a window or using a pot of simmering water with citrus peels and cinnamon. Then, perhaps switch your everyday disinfectant to hydrogen peroxide. Look for oven and drain cleaning methods that rely less on corrosive chemicals. It's a journey, not a race. And every step towards reducing chemical exposure in your home is a positive one. Don't feel like you have to overhaul everything at once. Just becoming aware and making conscious choices when your current products run out is a great start. Your home should be your sanctuary, a place where you feel safe, comfortable, and healthy. By being mindful of the cleaning products you use, you're taking a powerful step towards ensuring it truly is. It's about living your best life, feeling as good as possible, and enjoying every moment in a healthy environment you've intentionally created. You have the wisdom and experience to make informed decisions about what's best for you. Trust your intuition, listen to your body, and choose products that support your health journey. Your well-being is your most valuable asset. Have you already made changes to your cleaning products? Do you have a favorite natural cleaning tip or product? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else looking to make safer choices. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like. It helps us reach more people who could benefit from this information. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips and advice on living well and thriving at every age. Taking care of yourself and your environment goes hand in hand. Live your best life at every age.